What's up, y'all? Winners is Coach K in the building, baby. The PT hustle. Let's get it. Thank you for go ahead, come on in. Thank you for tuning in. It is your coach. For those of you who are unfamiliar with me, my name is Kyle Race. They call me Coach K, and I help you to get the highest score possible on the MPTE in the shortest amount of time. And I want to thank you for riding with me today. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 secrets to crushing the MPTE in 2020 and 21, baby. So we got a lot of juicy stuff to go over. Of course, you can lay down any of the questions that you got down in the comment box. I'd be more than happy to smash those as we move along. And then at the end of this, I want to grand debut. I've never cut like the red ribbon in front of like a building that was opening. I've always wanted to do that. But today, virtually, I'm going to somewhat cut that ribbon and grand debut this new turnkey program that I have to help you dominate the MPTE. So we'll get to that towards the end. But first, I want to give you a ton of value. I want to give you the things that you need to have in place if you want to go into the MPTE with confidence and absolutely crush it. Can we do that? Are you ready for me? What's up, Christina? Great to have you as well, Erica. Let's knock it down. First of all, I have to make sure I'm talking really to the right people right now. So let me ask you, do you want to gain an unfair advantage over 93% of first-time test takers? I mean, even if you've taken it before, right? Even if this is your 3rd time, your 4th time, your 5th time, would you like to gain an unfair advantage over 93% of first-time test takers? Like people just going into it for the first time. If you're a first-time test taker, would you like to have an unfair advantage over 93%? That sounds good, right? Okay, I'm just making sure I'm talking to the right people. Let me ask you another one. Do you want to avoid wasting precious time studying things that are not going to come up on the exam, studying things that don't really mean anything to you as far as the MPTE is concerned? Do you want to avoid wasting hours upon hours of time that you actually could be doing something that you like to do? Yeah, sounds good, right? All right, last but not least, would you like to be able to control your actual motivation level? Come on now. You know everybody goes through those valleys, right? And those mountains and the valleys and the mountains. Okay, here's the thing. Would you like to be able to control your motivation level so you're able to stay motivated, but even those times where you find yourself in those low points, you're able to get out of those low points a lot faster? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to do that? All right, cool. So if you're like yes to all 3 of these, if you're like, just shut up, Coach K, just keep going, then let us continue. So who is this hustle talk really for? If you're a 2nd-year PT student, if you're a 3rd-year PT student, and you're looking to kind of get started with this whole MPTE and know exactly the things that you need to put into place, this is for you. If you're about to take the MPTE in October, this is for you. If you're taking it in 2021, this is for you. All right? So anyone who struggles with standardized test taking, especially when it comes down to the MPTE, you're talking to the right guy right now. You and me, we're one of the same. And so I want to talk to you about that first. For those of you who are just not familiar with me, I am a physical therapist. But before all of that, I struggled hard with standardized testing, like freaking hard, like SATs, ACTs. Any of y'all SATs, ACTs? I was in the bottom 10% of the nation, y'all. Like, it was so bad. And I went to undergrad. Thank God I was able to get accepted to Florida A&M University. Go Rattlers. I was actually able to get into undergrad. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I really didn't think so, because my scores were just that freaking low on standardized tests. Got to the point where all my friends were going to the major universities in Florida, and I was the one that was up there like, all right, so y'all getting accepted. I can't get accepted, so let me see how I can lie to y'all real quick to make it seem like I'm good enough to go to the University of Florida. I was not good enough. My scores just weren't good enough, y'all. And being all serious though, all serious right now, like when you see all your friends moving on in life or getting these opportunities that you want, but you know that you're not quote unquote good enough, like you don't have the scores that are good enough, that freaking pain that you feel, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That feeling of being like kind of outcasted, worthless, not good enough, oh my God, that destroyed me. And this is back when I was, like I said, high school going into undergrad. But luckily, I got into undergrad. I wanted to be an MD, so I was trying to get through undergrad, the pre-med stuff, and then take the MCAT. But y'all, I failed this thing called the MCAT, Medical Comprehension Assessment Test, or something like that. You have to take it to get into medical school. I failed that thing. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 freaking times. I did awful on that thing. This is something I wanted so bad at the time, was to become an orthopedic surgeon, to go to medical school, but I failed that freaking thing so many times. I was getting a low score. No one would even look at me for medical school. So I had to make a decision. I was at a turning point in my life where it was like I couldn't just sit at home staring at the ceiling of my childhood bedroom anymore. Like I couldn't do that anymore. So I had to change something. And what I changed was my trajectory. I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into PT school. And I'm going to go to PT school and I'm going to graduate from that. And then I'm going to go to medical school after, and I'm going to show these people. So that was my mentality. And so I decided that I was going to apply for medical school. Apply for PT school, and I got into FIU, Florida International University in Miami, right? So start my program. I go through a full year of this thing, absolutely fall in love with physical therapy. I mean, the ability to put your hands on patients and change their lives is freaking phenomenal, right? And so I fell in love with it and decided, I don't even want medical school anymore. Forget that. I can't even believe I was thinking about that. PT is for me, right? But during this time, y'all, during this time of PT school, I found myself thinking about this thing called the MBTE. Somebody had brought it up. There's this thing called the National Physical Therapy Exam. They brought it up, and I'm like, wait, what? There's a standardized test after all of these years of PT school? That you mean that I can graduate with over $100,000 in debt, and if I don't pass this exam, I don't have a degree. Like I can't practice. Is that true? Like I could just have like a sheet of paper or a degree saying I graduated PT school, but I can't do anything with this? Is that serious? And so can y'all imagine the anxiety that freaking hit me? Oh my gosh, it was freaking crazy. And, at the time, I just got so scared, so timid about taking this thing called the MBTE. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know if I was ever going to pass it. I had already failed 13 standardized exams before the MBTE. I was just in bad shape. I was in bad shape. And so I got into my second year and I started doing some research, going to the library. When everybody else is studying for class. Yeah, I was studying, but I also went to the library and was learning about standardized testing. Started to learn about this MBTE. I was trying to get my freaking master's degree in standardized testing, y'all. I went to the library, like there are people there studying for orthopedics and neuro and all that. I'm over here studying for standardized tests. Like, what is a standardized test? How do you do well at standardized testing? Well, how do they formulate the questions? Like, I'm over here like Dexter's laboratory trying to freaking make up some way that I'm going to crush an exam. And so anyway, I spent 14 months preparing for this MBTE, like straight locked in, doing everything in my power. And there's a lot of things that I learned over those 14 months about standardized testing that I didn't even know. I just didn't know. But 14 months solid between my second and third year, 14 months preparing for the MBTE. I went into my exam in October of 2013, and I crushed it with an 800 out of 800 perfect scaled score. Now, hold on. This is a person that had failed 13 standardized exams before the MBTE. 13 straight, was in the bottom 10% of the nation for standardized testing. MPTE comes, absolutely crush it, which brought me just to a new mindset. It brought me to a new understanding. I went from hating standardized testing to wanting to revolve my entire life around helping people to crush standardized testing. Isn't that crazy? I went from absolutely despising standardized testing. Went from feeling that standardized tests were just a way to just keep certain people from going to the next level. That there's certain people that are just not good at standardized testing, and that's just going to suck for their life. Like, I went from despising standardized testing to now revolving my entire life around helping people to crush these exams and get exactly what it is that they've been dreaming of. Isn't that crazy? So that's the reason why I'm here with so much passion and energy right now, is to help you. And the reason why you're listening to me right now is because there's some type of connection that you and I are having, right? That there's something that you've had in your past that's matching with what I've been talking about. And maybe you feel like you're not a good test taker, that you feel it's going to be difficult for you to overcome the MPTE or the MBTE or whatever it is, right? And so I want to show you the 4 secrets that you need to have in place for you to dominate the MPTE and then get everything that you've been dreaming of. And so these are some pictures of me, FIU. You can see I'm trying to twist my man's shoulder right there. I guess that's his shoulder, his elbow. I can't really tell in that picture in the middle. But that's the good old Panther in the middle. You got my classmates, my faculty members, all that good stuff. A lot of great times in PT school, y'all. What's up, Cole? What's going on? So yeah, these are my FIU PT school times. I'm super excited to show it off. You know, oh man, came a long way to get here. And of course, oh, my head's kind of blocking my beautiful wife. She's behind my big head. Hold on, let me move. She's right over here. That's my wife, Andrea, and she actually helps me in this mission. She's a big part of the PT Hustle as well, all right? So here it is, 4 secrets. You want to write these down if you got a pen and paper. I'm going to give you the 4 secrets right now, and I'm just going to tell it to you. Is that cool? If I just list them out for you right now? Okay, number 1 secret, here it is you're only as good as your interpretation. That's number 1. Number 2, watch the movie, then the preview is number 2. Number 3 is less is more, so study like a sniper. And last but not least, your MPTE score depends on how well you can play the god darn MPTE game. These are the 4 secrets. You need to understand them. And then you're going to need to be able to apply this understanding. So let's jump into each one of them. Like I said, as you have questions, go ahead and interact with me. Let me know that you're in here. If you have questions, I'd be more than happy to knock those down. Let's jump into our first one. You're only as good as your interpretation. This is one of my favorites because it's so freaking true. How many of y'all right now, let me know down in the comment box, how many of y'all have ever been in class and you want to do as well as you possibly can, right? You're putting your time and all your effort into studying for this class and you want to get the A or the A plus or whatever it is. You're putting in all this time. And you take one of the tests, right? You take a test, you're prepared for it, you studied hard, you take the test. And when you get the test grade back, it doesn't match up with how much time you put in. It doesn't match up with the knowledge and understanding that you had. Has that happened to you ever in life where you studied for a test, you thought you were doing well, the results come back and it doesn't match up? You didn't do so well. Has that ever happened to you? Because here's the thing. I learned this in PT school and it changed the game for me on the MPTE. Yeah. I remember this one particular class, kinesiology, and I remember, listen, I'm going to try to freaking study the heck out of this. I'm going to put in all the time, the effort, and I remember studying like 17 hours in one day, like studying. And I put in so much effort, and I felt like I knew the information well. But then I got to the freaking exam, And it was a long, lengthy exam. And I went through it. I'm like, all right, I think I got this. I got this, whatever. I go through the exam. We finish it. We get our scores back. And the score was like a C. It was like a C minus. And I was like, what? What the heck is going on? I studied so hard on this. Like, what the heck? There's no way. Has that ever happened to you? And let me tell you a little bit about what happened. So I got this score back, and I wound up going to the professor's office hours to kind of look at what happened. Come to find out, you don't know what you don't know. Let me explain that. You don't know what you don't know. So when I was going through it with my professor, I was coming to figure out like what I had learned, I interpreted it wrong. I thought it was right in my own mind, but I interpreted it wrong. And so when the professor was like, oh yeah, that's not correct. The way that you learned that from the book, that's not correct. It should be this way. I was like, oh shoot. I didn't even know that I didn't know that. So what am I trying to say to you is that my own interpretation is what caused me to get the questions wrong. I thought I was right. In my own mind, I thought I knew it all. But when it comes out, my score is a lot lower on the exam. So here's the thing. You may be saying, all right, so how can I fix this problem? How is this a major issue for the NPTE? Well, let me talk to you about this. A lot of you right now have already started studying for the NPTE. You've already started putting in time. Here's the thing. Are you studying by yourself? Because if you are, you're only as good as your own interpretation. If you're studying by yourself, there's nobody there to critique you. There's nobody there to say, hey, you're looking at that wrong. It's actually this way. Or are you sure it's this? Or what would you do if it was ALS instead of MS? Like there's no one there to challenge your thinking. And so you're only as good as your own interpretation. So you may go into the NPTE thinking, oh my gosh, I'm good. I have all the information I need. I feel like I'm good. And then your score doesn't match up. It may be because it wasn't the fact that you didn't put in the time and the effort. It's just the fact that you learned the information incorrectly and there was nobody there to correct you, baby. That's all. So how do you fix something like that? You build a solid team around you. You build a solid team of people that are still going down the route of trying to dominate the NPTE. They're committed, they're dedicated, they're going to be there and they're going to critique you and challenge you. You need that. You need somebody that you can teach the concepts to. Does it always have to be classmates? No. It could be mom, dad, family members, brother, sister, whatnot. But I mean, there's a lot of value in teaching it to classmates. There's a lot of value in teaching it to non-healthcare friends because they will challenge you in a different way than your classmates will. All of these will challenge your interpretation, allow you to really solidify what it is that you know. So let me reiterate this again. You are only as good as your interpretation. If you want to dominate the NPTE, you have to surround yourself with people that are going to help to make sure that you're learning the information correctly. Boom. All right, so that's number one. It's our first secret. Number two, here it is. Watch the movie, then the preview. Another one of my favorites. How many of y'all have a favorite goddamn movie? Mine is White Chicks. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. It's the Wayans brothers. Oh my gosh, that movie so I love that movie. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past my homebound. Okay. Anyway, if you don't know the movie, go check it out. You'll know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. So what the heck is your favorite movie? Put that down in the comment box right now. I really want to know. Like seriously, it's gonna play into what I'm about to teach you. What's your favorite freaking movie? The one that you've seen multiple times before. You could pretty much like say the words before the actors say it or actresses. All right, cool. So What do I mean by watch the movie, then the preview? Well, here's the thing. When we go through PT school, at the end, your second year, your third year, most programs, what they're going to do is they're going to send you into like a 2-day review course. I did this, right? And there's nothing wrong with those 2-day review courses, right? But a lot of times the 2-day review courses are going to push you into the world of a review book, right? Like, take our review book, get our review book, study from this, you'll be good. Well, that actually doesn't work for all students, right? It works for a lot of students, but it doesn't work for all of us, especially the ones who have anxiety, test strategy issues, we standardized test taking issues. Okay, so it doesn't work as well for those people. So my question to you, have you gone through a 2-day review course where they pushed a review book on you and said, hey, go read this, review this, you'll be good? Has that happened to you? Because if it has, I want you to understand this, that the NPTE is a test. You know this. And the NPTE is going to test you on the movie. Let me say it again. The NPTE will test you on the movie. It doesn't test you on the preview. Let me say it again. The NPTE tests you on the movie. It does not test you on the preview. So in your review books, whichever company you decide to use, I want you to understand that those review books are filled with a bunch of trailers, like previews to a movie. They're like cliff notes. They're previews. But the NPTE doesn't test you on the preview, it tests you on the movie. Okay? So let's make this make a little bit more sense here. Think about your PT textbooks. PT textbooks, I mean your O'Sullivan book, your Kishner Colby, your McGee, like those are kind of like movie theaters. They have a bunch of movies in there that you can watch or read, right? Cool. Your review books are like just a bunch of movie previews, if you will. That's it. So let me apply this concept with you a bit. Think about it this way. Let's say you saw a preview, right? And the preview was, let's say the preview was a guy was running, right? Guy's running down the street, right? He's like panting. He's like, oh, fight or flight, running. And then there's a guy chasing him with a gun. And this is all in the preview, and it's going real fast and all this great stuff, right? And so you can see that. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. The NPTE is not going to be like, was the guy chasing the other guy? The NPTE is not going to do that. That's too easy. The NPTE is going to ask you what led to this chase. What caused this chase? Who was this guy affiliated with, right? So it's going to ask you about the movie. And if you do not understand the movie, you are going to have problems on the NPTE. Your review books are just giving you the previews. They're just giving you these little snapshots. And so as long as you just study from the review book, it's like you're always missing something. Has anybody ever had that happen? You took a practice exam or you took the MBTE and you're kind of like, dang, this wasn't in the book. I didn't see this in the review book. You want to know why? Because the review book is just previews. They're not going to give you the whole movie. They can't do that. The book would be like 1 billion pages. No, we can't do that. Okay? And so what is the suggestion that I have to you is it okay to use a review book? Absolutely. You can go into the review book. That's cool. You can look through it. But if you come across the concept that is not familiar to you, like you haven't seen the movie, you don't know the movie very well, then you have to go to the PT textbooks and get the knowledge, get the understanding. You can always use your review books for things that you know very well, because then it's just a review, and that's cool because you can fill in the gaps. However, if you don't know the concept very well, if you don't know Erb's palsy, what causes it, what are the interventions you would use for it, you can't rely on a review book to teach you all of that. It is only going to give you the preview. Does that make sense? So for those of you who are scared of going into the NPTE and feeling like you don't have enough knowledge, I want you to know your review books are, in a sense, setting you up to have that problem. Make sure you supplement with those PT textbooks the best that you can. All right. So last but not least, let me reiterate this point. The MBTE tests you on the understanding of the movie and not what's in the preview. That's number 2. Number 3, less is more, study like a sniper. Let's go through one of the major myths here. One of the major myths is the more you study for the MBTE, the higher your score will be. The more effort you put in, the higher your score is going to be. Anybody had that? Yeah. Anybody like heard that or feel that or was going that route? Okay, so here's the thing. This is a myth. That is not true. The more you study, the more effort you put in, the more time you commit, the higher your score is going to be. Why do I know that? How do we know that? Because there's plenty of people that have been preparing for the MBTE for the past 2 years. You would think their score would be the highest of everyone. There's people that have been studying it for 3 years. You would think their score would be the highest of everyone. That is untrue. So it's not related to how much time you put into the game. It's not. But the truth is, the more that you cram, the more superficial your understanding will be. That's what we do know. The more that you cram the information in, just try to see as many things as possible, the more superficial your understanding is going to be. That's what we do know. All right? So what should you do? How do you combat this? How do you make sure that you get the highest score possible on the MBTE? Very easy. We have to figure out what your weaknesses are. Your specific ones. You know, the ones that you don't want to touch? The ones that kind of make you feel like, oh, I don't want to look at this at all. This was always a tough topic for me in PT school. I don't want to look at this. You know, those topics? Yeah, those are the ones that are going to help to raise your score on the MBTE. We need to figure out what those are and go after those full throttle. But what most PT students will do, the same thing that I started to do, was to try to learn everything. It's like, oh, there's 3 years of information. I need to learn everything right now. And so you get so locked in to try to learn all of this stuff that you wind up not getting anything. You're very superficial with it. So what's my suggestion as you start to study for the October or the January MBTE? Do not fall into the same trap as many of us do, which is, oh, I'm just going to try to learn this stuff, start from page 1, go all the way to the last page, try to learn everything. No. Don't do that. Because what it's going to do is it's going to end up with you with a very superficial understanding. The way that we raise our MBTE score is being a sniper, very targeted on what our weaknesses are. We review our strengths, but we go hard after our weaknesses. And we need to do that. So that's number 3. Number 4, last but not least, your MBTE score depends on how well you can play the MBTE game. Hey, Erica, I see you in here, baby. She says, Coming to America and My Cousin Vinny. Oh, I love those 2 movies, by the way. Oh, I love those movies. Those are good. Erica, Kathy, Cole, let me ask you a question. Have you ever played this game above my head right now? Raise the roof. Have you ever played this game right here? Connect 4, anybody? Okay. So Connect 4, if you've never played it before, it's very, 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 I mean, I guess you could say it's easy, right? It's easy to kind of understand. You're just trying to get 4 of a kind, 4 of your color in a row, whether that's horizontal or vertical or diagonal, and you're typically against another opponent, right? So I'm yellow, you're red, and we're trying to get 4 of a kind, and we go back and forth. Yeah, y'all played. Okay, great. So pretty straightforward game. Now, let me ask you a question, and this is a serious question. I can teach you this game and how to play it, but what if I put you up against someone who plays this game as their actual like career. Like this, they are a career Connect Four board game player. They go to tournaments and championships, and they travel across the world and go against people for this game and all of that stuff, right? They've made pretty much a career out of this. Who do you think is going to win? This person that has made a career out of Connect Four, or you? Which one? Do you think? I mean, in all seriousness. All right, some of y'all will be like, I think I can hold my own. Probably not, okay? Probably not. So here's the thing. What separates you from that person who has made it into a career? Yeah, you could say experience. But I'll say the number one thing that separates you is the fact that they have strategy. They have strategy now over you. They know when to put certain pieces in certain locations. All right. They know how to read what you're doing. They know where you're trying to go before you even know where you're trying to go. Right? That's strategy, my friend. And so your MBTE score, yeah, it's knowledge. That's cool. And understanding the knowledge and all that. That's cool. But the MBTE score depends on how well you can play the game, because I know plenty of 4.0 students who have gone through PT school, crushed it with straight A's, and they don't do well on the MBTE. How is that possible? If they're smart, they're intelligent, they killed PT school, they know the information, they can talk you all day long about this stuff. How are they not doing well? Because they're not able to play the game. So what does this mean tangibly moving forward? How is this a secret? Well, I want you to understand this, that when you study for the MBTE, that's cool. I want you to spend time there. But I also want you to understand that just because you have that knowledge, that doesn't mean that you're able to get questions correct, which is why you're oftentimes super frustrated. Have you ever gone into a question, you know you have the knowledge for this thing, but you get it wrong? And you look back at it and you're like, what the heck? How did I get that wrong? Like, oh my gosh, they went with that answer. It's like, oh, come on. And you're like, oh, I should have got that right. I knew the information. Has that ever happened to you? Because if it has, it's because you weren't able to play the game. You weren't on the same level as the test taker, or the test maker, I should say. The person making the question. You all weren't seeing eye to eye. And so what I'm telling you is, don't spend all of your time just looking at knowledge and trying to get a bunch of knowledge, because that's only half the battle. You also have to understand how these questions are going to be worded. What are the curveballs that they throw? What are they looking for? That is the key. So your MBTE score doesn't just depend on the knowledge. It depends on how well you can freaking play the goddamn game. There it is. So those are the 4 secrets, y'all. Let's back it up so you make sure that you can take a picture with your camera phone. You can write these down. 4 secrets right here. You're only as good as your interpretation, so definitely make sure you surround yourself with people that can critique you and challenge your understanding. Number 2, watch the movie, meaning to get into the textbooks and learn your information. Go back to your actual notes from PT school and learn the information. Then you could go to the review books and get like a quick review of it. But do not rely solely on just the review book. It will leave you in a position where you're like, I don't have this information. I didn't see this in the book. And you don't want that. Number 3, less is more. Study like a sniper, meaning that do not try to spread yourself thin, trying to learn everything. That's not the important piece. That's not how you raise your score. You have to go after your specific weaknesses that are going to get you more points back on the MBTE. And number 4, your MBTE score doesn't just depend on your knowledge and your understanding. It also, a lot of it depends on how well you can play the MBTE game. There you go. All right, so for those of you still tuning in with me right now, I hope you got a lot of value from that. Please put helpful down in the comment box if those were helpful. And if you have any questions, put them down below. I'd be more than happy to knock those out for you as well. what I want to do right now is one of my favorite pieces. I want to grand debut this turnkey NPTE program that we just released. It has some amazing things that we added. We've been spending hours upon hours, days, just trying to get this program to work so smoothly. So it's turnkey. Has anybody ever heard of turnkey before? Anybody ever heard of that word turnkey or the phrase turnkey? Typically you see it used with like a rental or a home of some sort. It's like everything's kind of in there. You turn the key, you walk in, and there it is. It's good for you. So we wanted to make a turnkey MPTE program to where everything's laid out for you. It's amazing for the person who doesn't want to have to go searching for everything and doing all that. It's like everything's laid out for you, beginning to end. Calendars and how to figure out weaknesses and what topics to study and lecture, like everything just laid out for you nice. So when you turn the key, you walk on in and it's there for you. Does that sound good? So that's the reason why we're calling it that. And I'm super excited to show you what it's all about. All right. And so before I even introduce really a lot of this, I want to take you over to the platform if my thing will let me, and then we'll talk about the rest of this here in a moment. Okay. So let's take a look. I got everything kind of pulled up because I've been playing with it. I've been so excited. All right, there it goes. So this is the platform, and I've showed a lot of you this before when it was in beta testing. But like I said, we put so much time and effort into upgrading this thing. So like I said, it's turnkey, meaning that the stuff is laid out for you as far as your MPT prep team, right? As far as figuring out who's going to be on your study team and figuring out who's that going to be, surrounding yourself with the right people. Yep. So we put that into this program. So you got that piece. You know how I was talking about how it was so important that you be a sniper. Less is more. Go after your weaknesses. Well, this program is going to help to line up every single one of your weaknesses. That's going to help you to raise your score on the MPTE. That's step 2. You see that over here on that left side, right? So it's like step by step. And then it's like, okay, well, how can I get organized? Well, the program then helps you to put all those weaknesses nicely into days, tell you how many hours to study per day, what topics to study per day. All of it's laid out here for you. Again, more of that turnkey, walk in the door, bam, we got it. All right. And then it goes on. It goes on to talk to you about how to study, how to retain information. Okay. So all of that's listed out here for you. But one of the amazing things that we've really added to this program I want to show you is this feature. Y'all ready for me? All right. I got a grand debut. I wish I had some music, baby. I'd play some music on a grand debut this. So you come over here to this side and you click this button right above my head, right? And what'll happen is you can go in here and type in as you're studying. Let's say you come across this topic, you get it wrong on a practice exam, and the topic was about spondylosis, right? Everybody have seen that word before, spondylosis. Cool. So you type in spondylosis here, and it's going to bring up the exact moment that I'm explaining spondylosis everywhere in this program. So every lecture, every practice question I talk about spondylosis, it's like right here for you. It does not get any easier than this. So you click this button, and now I'm going to teach you about spondylosis. You just click
Great
play.
job, y'all.
Bam.
So that's
Spondylosis. And let's see if it'll blow up on
Let's
it.
look at spondylolysis. Now,
And here it
spondylosis, hold
is.
on. I know
I'm
I just jumped
explaining
off
it,
that
baby.
one.
I'm explaining it.
Some of y'all like,
All right.
that went quick.
So
Listen.
there you go. All right. And then we can back right on out of that and come back in. And whatever topic that you have that comes up, it's the same exact thing. You could come right up into here and put multiple sclerosis, type that in there. And it's going to bring up every single place that I even mentioned multiple sclerosis. Practice questions in here, lectures in here. You can even read a little transcript that tells you what I'm talking about. And you click the button and it will talk to you about it. Boom. All right, so this is a new feature that we added in
GB, like I said, this one
to
will go a
make
bit
things
faster
so
now that
much
y'all are
easier for you.
privy to
All right. So there you go, y'all. I wanted to show you that piece. Again, it just continues to just make things so much more efficient for you. And I think that that is key. For a lot of us, we're so ineffective with our time. Like we're searching around trying to find, okay, where do I go for multiple sclerosis? Then you're reading the chapter for hours. Then you're exhausted because you didn't feel like you got anything from it. Like that freaking sucks. And so efficiency is key. I should have made that one of the secrets. Efficiency is key. I know, Cole, thank you. I appreciate it, baby. We done leveled up. We did. All right. But no. This is not even it. So what we also did, my wife and I, we were like, nah, we got to upgrade the test strategy part as well. Because so many people think it's all about understanding and knowledge when it's really about how well you can play the game. And so for those of you who have been following me, you know I run this program called the PASS system. It's where I literally take you through like 75, 100 questions, teaching you how to develop a strategy for answering every type of question that comes up. Gate, intervention, exam, eval, whatever it is, right? So what we did was we put that freaking program in here as well. I told y'all it's turnkey. I told you. So then you have the PASS system in here that's going to have a ton of questions and practice questions, and all of that's here for you to help teach you how to freaking dominate questions as well. I mean, you can't freaking beat it, y'all. You really can't. You really can't. All right. So I really wanted to take that opportunity, show you all this piece. I think this is super, super important for you to see what a turnkey program looks like, but also what's really important for you to make sure that you have as you're preparing for the MBTE. Have these things in place. All right. So back to here, just to debut this off so you see exactly what this program is all about. MBTE, a coach approved independent prep program, is what this program is called. Against our turnkey. If you are, but let me ask you a quick question. Do you need step-by-step walkthrough of day one of your MBTE prep all the way up to test day? Do you need that? Yes or no? Do you need a turnkey program where it's going to give you everything that you need from day one to test day? Yes or no? If your answer is yes, then check this out. This program lasts anywhere from 8 weeks all the way up to 6 months. All right. And when I say that, that means that you can make this program like work for you from 8 weeks out up to 6 months, or even longer than that. But it's built for 8 weeks to 6 month time frame. So if you're 6 months away from the MBTE, boom, this program's solid. If you're 8 weeks away from the MBTE, boom, this program's solid for you. Now, if you're 4 weeks away, 6 weeks away, then program's too much. All right. But if you're 8 weeks, 6 months, 9 months, something like that, it's great. It's very flexible. It's go at your own pace. It has everything there for you, so you don't have to be anywhere at any time. It's all available for you 24/7. Absolutely flexible. And it's not going anywhere. So it's there when you want it, whether it's post-clinical, you're coming back home from clinicals and you need something here for you. Bam, this is something that you can do even in your 3rd year of PT school. It's freaking solid, all right? 24/7 access, and then until you pass access as well. Step-by-step walkthrough. I told y'all it's turnkey. It teaches you also how to retain information in there. It has all my lectures I've ever done in there. 80 plus hours of lectures of me engaging like I am. You know, I'm crazy and I'm freaking giving you different ways to understand it and making jokes, and that's just how I teach. And so if that's something that you need, if that's something that you just get a lot of value from, all the lectures are in there. And they're easy to find. All you got to do is type in the words you're looking for and it'll pull up the lecture. Come on. Doesn't get any easier than that. But here it is, y'all. What I'm going to do, this is the first time that we're doing it. We're going to take the PASS system, which is a $1,000 program right now. You can go online and look at it. It's a $997 program. We're taking that and we're putting it in here for absolutely free. So it's packaged inside here. and we're giving that for free. No, y'all thought I was done? Nah, I ain't even done yet. And we're going to give you $200 discount, $200 off discount, plus the free pass system. Listen, I know this is crazy. But I want to say I've gotten so many emails, and I'll do a video. I've gotten like over 200 emails of students saying, thank you, Coach K, for the lectures. Thank you for doing the COVID discounts. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that. God give the glory and for everything that you've done. God bless you. I mean, how could I not continue to serve you all? So what we did was, you know what? Throw the pass system in there. Give them a discount. Help as many people as possible. Because if I can get 200 people writing me saying that they passed the exam just by email, imagine what we can get if I just reach out to many more people and give these types of offers. Maybe I can help get 1,000 emails next time. Maybe 2,000 emails next time. That's what I want. We're changing the freaking game. So those of us who struggle with standardized test taking, those of us who feel like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever be able to overcome the NPTE. I don't know what it's going to take. Now we can get you to pass this thing and then get the dream job that you've been wanting for the past 3 years, 4 years, everything that you want. And so that's the reason why I'm doing this. Again, $200 off of this program, plus adding in the free pass system. You can get this. Where do you get this? www.mptehelp.com. The coupon's already up there. We're going to keep it up there for a little bit. All right, but www.mptehelp.com. I'm not 100% sure when we're going to take that discount down. So, you might want to reach out and everything. But again, www.mptehelp.com is where you find it. If you have any questions, you can put it down. Put it down in the comment box below. You can write myself or my wife on Facebook Messenger. We'd be more than happy to make sure that this is a great program for you. And we just want to make sure we serve you well. All right. So there you go. Step-by-step turnkey program. Go to www.mptehelp.com. It has been an absolute pleasure to serve you, to be here today. And I hope you got a lot from it. I can't wait to see you inside the program. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.